friends, my name is Josie and I'm a librarian at Deschutes Public Library. Today we are going to make simple ice orbs with items from around the house. For this project, you are going to need a balloon, food coloring or some sort of colorant, and either really cold weather outside or a freezer in your house. There are other items you can use to make this experiment work, so if you don't have those particular items, that's okay. First, let's talk a little bit about temperature. There are a lot of ways to tell temperature. You can use something like a thermometer, or maybe a weather app on your phone, or the weather forecast on TV. The thermometer in your hand, of course, is going to tell better temperature for where you are right now than a weather forecast on TV. But both are good ways to estimate the weather. You can also just guess based on what it feels like. Right now, I'm wearing a sweater because it's in the 50s. If it was in the 30s, I might wear a coat. If it was in the 80s, I could wear a t-shirt and shorts. So you can estimate based on how you feel when you're outside. Everything we're looking at today is going to be in the Fahrenheit scale. So just be aware, there are other scales out there like Kelvin and Celsius and other ones. So today we're going to focus just on Fahrenheit. Now, today we are going to make ice orbs out of water. We want to freeze the water solid so it looks like a giant colorful marble. In order for this to happen, we have to get the water below 32 degrees Fahrenheit. Everything in the whole world has a set point at which it's solid, liquid, or gas. For water, that point to solidify to be solid is 32 degrees. For sodium, the main component of table salt, it's 208 degrees. Way too hot. So anything below 208 degrees Fahrenheit is going to give us solid sodium, solid salt, which is good because I like to eat solid salt and I normally exist below 208 degrees Fahrenheit, so it works out for me. If the weather outside is going to be chilly tonight where you are, you can go ahead and do this experiment outside. If it's the middle of summer though, or maybe you live in Florida or Hawaii, you might want to use your freezer. I had to use my freezer because even though it's January when I'm making this video, there's global warming and La Nina, and the temperatures are around 35 degrees outside tonight. So I had to use the freezer. It's really easy to set this one up. We're going to put just a little bit of water in our balloon, just a little bit, so it doesn't stretch at all. And then take your food coloring and put a couple of drops in there. Pick a color you like, whatever color you want. Once you've got just a little bit of water and just a little bit of food coloring, go ahead and fill up your balloon. So this one's still a very liquidy water balloon, not to throw at anybody at this point. So don't overfill it because then it could pop in your kitchen and that would be a huge mess. Just fill it enough so that you have a nice size marble round circle. If you don't have any food coloring around the house, you can also use something like tea. Make a cup of tea and let it cool down and then freeze that. Different teas have different colors. You could also use something like Kool-Aid or Jell-O, something that has a bright, vibrant color. Just make sure it doesn't have any of that sodium or salt in it because then it will have a different freezing point. Something to be aware of. And if you don't have a balloon, that's okay. You could totally use any kind of plastic bag. It just won't be as round in shape. So it's up to you. Whatever you have at home, you can still do this project. When you're all set, it should look like this water balloon. So next, you're going to put it in the freezer. You might want to put it in a bowl so it has something round to hold it, or you can put it outside in a bowl, either way, so that it has something round to hold it. In the morning, if it feels soft, it probably wasn't cold enough to freeze. But if it feels nice and solid and you can knock on it, then it's probably solid enough. So what you'll want to do is carefully cut the outer skin of the balloon and see what you have inside. Okay, friends, I just ran and got mine out of my freezer and we're going to see what it looks like. Now, I use my thermometer. This is called an instant read thermometer. I used my thermometer in the freezer just to see what the temperature was, and it said it was 7 degrees. That is really cold. I wouldn't want to be outside playing in 7 degrees, but that should be enough to solidify my ice orb. Now, I don't know if you can hear that, but it is solid. Interestingly enough, you can see it's not very round. It sat at the bottom of the bowl and that made it flattened. It's also got some interesting, like, cracky looking things in it. I'm not sure what happened there. Maybe parts froze at different rates. But we've got the knot on the top, and I've got a pair of scissors here. I'm just going to go ahead and cut that knot. That little piece is going to fall away. And then I've got the opening. Now can I get it off? Let's find out. Balloons are super stretchy, so it should come out. Maybe I have to cut it a little bit more. What do you think? There we go. Ooh. Oh, that is so cool. Huh. So, it's really interesting. Can you see how the green is more on the inside and less on the outside? I wonder what caused that. But I have this beautiful marble, which I'm going to set outside so I can look at when the sun hits it, or just as a little decoration. So this is my ice orb. Oh, it's cold. I don't know how long I want to hold this. But it was made with green food coloring, and it's like just a really big, pretty marble. And I guess 7 degrees in the freezer is cold enough to freeze water. But it's got some interesting things going on, so I'm going to have to read up on ice and freezing temperatures of food coloring and see if I can figure out what happened. But let me know what yours ended up looking like, and join us again for a nice STEAM project. Have a good day. Bye.